in color. The continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
For Elliot Carson, the disappearance of his daughter Allison has been bitterly frustrating. There have been no clues. Allison left without a trace. But last night, Norman and Rita Harrington brought a strange young girl to Doctor's Hospital. Her only possession, Allison's bracelet.
Well, Miss Choate, where's the girl? Mr. Carson will be here in a minute.
The girl, if you can call her that, bit me.
Where is she now?
On her way. I had to have 2 nurses in charge. I'm only sorry I couldn't leave an armed escort as well. You know, this is the first time in all my years in this hospital that anything like this has happened. I'd watch myself around her if I were you.
Well, thank you, Miss Choate. I will. I've met her.
She's vicious. The girl will be right along. Good morning, Mr. Carson.
Sure. What do you mean, the girl is coming into the office here?
Yes?
You know, I still can't believe it, Mikey. You're absolutely certain it's the same bracelet I gave Allison. I still can't believe it.
It's hers, isn't it?
Je vais sur ceux qui j'aime. I watch over those I love. I've lost a few nights' sleep over that, I can tell you.
I bet you have.
What do you know about the girl?
Well, nothing really. The police put out a bulletin on her last night, and I heard about her on the news this morning, so we should know something soon.
Well, where did she get this?
I don't know. She won't talk.
You know, Allison was very fond of it.
So was this girl. I tried to look at it when she came in, and she attacked me with a pair of surgical scissors. I finally got it away from her after she'd fallen asleep.
And she's violent. That could
Well,
mean
let's just say she's very fond of that, huh?
Mike, Allison wouldn't have parted with this unless someone forced her. And if this girl is...
Allison could have lost it, you know.
But the link has been broken. It's broken, Mike.
Elliot, just a minute.
I don't want to see you anymore.
Well, you feel any better now that you've had your sleep?
I wasn't tired. You gave me something and I had to sleep.
Bring her over here so we can talk. Huh?
Who's he?
He's a friend. He wants to talk to you. Hey, wait a minute, stop it.
Oh, get your hands off me. Hey, come on. Please, let me alone. Nobody's going to hurt you.
Let her go, let her go.
It's necessary,
Just let
Mr.
her go.
Carson.
It's all right. Miss, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not even going to touch you.
Who are you? A doctor?
No, I'm just a man with a daughter about your age. She had a bracelet that had something very special written on it. This bracelet.
Give it to me.
It's not yours.
He stole it from me.
It's my daughter's. I know because I gave it to her.
It's mine.
Why, did she give it to you? Do you want to tell me where you found it? Look, miss, my wife and I have a daughter, and she's lost. We're trying to find her. Her mother and I love her very much. We just want to bring her home again.
Maybe she doesn't want to come home.
Oh, I think she does. I mean, I don't know, really. We don't know anything about what happened to her, you see. And we haven't had any trace of her at all until you were found with her bracelet.
It's mine.
Well, if she gave it to you, then you should have it. Did she give it to you? Miss, did she give it to you? Miss, how did you get this?
Elliot.
I've got to find out, Mike.
She's frightened.
So are we. Listen, miss.
Take it back.
I am frightened, Mike. What did she do to Allison?
We can't find out now.
We have to find out.
I know, Elliot. I'm going to try. You've helped me.
Helped you?
Yes, you got her to talk.
She didn't say anything.
I know.
What is she, Mike?
She's a young, frightened girl.
Vicious?
I don't think so.
Frightened of whom? Or what? And does it have anything to do with Allison? What do you think?
I think it must be something that, well, took a long time to form. Something that, well, I doubt if it only has to do with Allison.
I'm going over and talk to the police. They sent a car out to that cabin where Norman and Rita found the girl. There's just got to be another clue.
Elliot. We're going to release Constance from the hospital.
I forgot all about that for the moment. Listen, do me a favor and don't say anything about this to Connie right now. Today is her day to be happy.
All right.
That girl, that strange, strange girl.
Hey, Stephen. Is court out for the day?
Short recess.
Want some coffee?
No, thanks.
How are things in court?
Routine. Can I talk to you a minute?
Oh, sure. I called the garage just now. The message service said you were in town. Oh, I was bringing the Clarion truck back. Big distributor problem. But you don't want to hear about that. Tell me, how is it going? Don't you say routine.
Fowler had Chris Webber on the stand.
Have you cross-examined?
Not yet. You really remember the routine.
From the inside out.
Well, try putting yourself back on the inside. Now, you know what it's like to be in Lee Webber's shoes. I don't have to tell you.
Well, then don't. Just tell me, what is this all about?
What were you doing out with his wife?
I wasn't out with Sandy.
You were driving her around.
I was driving her home.
Well, it looks the same.
It isn't.
Do you think anyone who saw you knew the difference? You looked like you were out with her.
Stephen, the last time you talked like this, I could understand it. But that's over. I'm not on trial anymore.
But when you were, you needed all the friends you could get, or have you forgotten?
No, I haven't forgotten.
And I don't mean the kind of friend who keeps the defendant's wife from getting lonesome. Now, you say it looked perfectly innocent. Well, that's not the impression you gave.
I should worry about impressions.
Thus, you're joining ranks with my client's brother to settle this case?
Oh, Stephen, you can't be serious.
I know your personal attitude toward Lee.
Look, so I don't have a lot going for the guy, but that doesn't mean I don't want him to get a fair trial.
Well, then give him a break. This is a small town. You know how gossip can get around.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
It isn't that simple. You can't do something like this and brush it off with an apology. Now, Lee's brother has turned against him. He's got enough of an uphill battle to save his neck without starting a lot of public talk about his wife having ditched him.
Stephen, I'm not starting anything.
All right, I don't expect you to give him a hand, but just don't kick him in the face.
Stephen, you're really working for this guy, aren't you?
I'm his lawyer.
Oh, you always say something like that as though that explains it.
It does.
He's accused of killing your sister.
Look, Rod, let me explain something to you, in case it slipped your mind. This hearing is to determine whether Lee Weber is to be put on trial legally. That means indicted for the murder of Ann Howard.
All right, I dig all the formalities. But what do you want out of this?
I want to find out how she died.
Suppose you find out Lee Weber did kill her. You know it could be Lee.
Yes. It could be.
What'll you do then? But Stephen,